Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Name a Better Duo podcast. I am your host, Renee Nicole, and I'm so very excited to be back with another season, another great group of people who are doing amazing things to share their experiences, their purpose, and the things that they are doing in their unique career path. And today we have with us the beautiful entrepreneur, mother, wife, so many things, woman of God. Today on the Name a Better Duo podcast, we have Destiny Gunn. Destiny Gunn is the owner of Nine Fruits Beauty Salon in Evansville, Indiana, and has over 10 plus years of experience in the hair industry. She recently launched her own handmade plant-based hair care brand called Goodness Collection by Nine Fruits. Destiny is passionate about her faith in Jesus Christ and solely believes her goals and visions have prospered because of him. She married her high school sweetheart and is a busy sports mom to two boys. Besides spending quality time with her family, Destiny enjoys kicking her feet up to watch her favorite TV shows and recently found a love for exercising. Welcome, Destiny Gunn.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Of course, I'm excited to have you. We kind of met through a mutual friend.
Yes.
Who shared with me the wonderful things you were doing through your products, your hair products,
Yes.
the Goodness Collection, which I have right here. I got
Yay!
now, okay. And blessing my tresses. Let me just
Yes.
say, like, honestly, like my hair feels like butter. It's smooth. It's like not like anything else I've used before. And so that's
Wow.
be on here and just talk about what that journey has been like for you, being an entrepreneur, creating this line. But before we do that, I like to do a little icebreaker so people can get to know you outside of what you do. So the first question that I like to ask, I ask everyone this question. It tells you a lot about a person, I feel like. You could hear any song again for the first time. You know, when you heard that song, you was like, oh, this is my jam.
Uh-huh.
What song would that be?
So the first thing that came to my mind, which don't go off the words. I'm a beat person. I like beats, and the melody of things. So I'm gonna say "Please" by Toni Braxton. I don't know. It's just the first time I heard. The first time I heard that song, I was like, okay, I like the beat, the violin playing in the background. Because I used to play violin when I was younger, not for a very long time, but it was one of my favorite instruments. And so when I heard that song, I was like, I could really hear the violin in the song and just her power that she, the song she was singing, like she just had this woman power that I just loved it so much. So, yes.
I love that. So one of the things that I do with these is I create a playlist, a Spotify playlist with everyone's song. So I can't wait for that to be on the playlist. You can't go wrong. I love her tone. I just love her voice. It's so unique.
Yes.
I know her. And for you to notice that, I hear that little musical, inclination that you have there to recognize the violin. And so, yes, I love it. That's good. Okay. So who or what inspires you the most?
I'm going to say my parents. And the reason being is because, of course, they're my parents. They love me. I love them. But they are entrepreneurs. And just to see them go through what they had to go through in order to get where they are today, it really inspired me. Okay, if I'm going through this stuff now, I know it's going to pay off in the long run because I have my parents that back me up, or they give me the good, the bad, and tell me all the odds and ends of being a business owner. So they really inspire me to be who I am today with my business.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you had that example because not everyone does, to kind of, like you said, the ins and outs of, entrepreneurship is not all, I get a schedule. Actually, you have more hours that you're putting in.
Exactly.
Clocking into work. So for you to actually see that example and already know some of those hardships before you got into it is a beautiful thing. And I feel like a lot of us, like even me, like I would say that I didn't see that, but just thinking back when you were saying that, my great grandfather was an entrepreneur, his own concrete business, laying cement and things like that. And now my great uncle have carried that on. So it's like, sometimes stuff is embedded in you that you don't even know. You didn't see it. It's kind of in your blood. So kind of natural. Sometimes people may say, man, you're taking a risk and trying to create a business and, spending all this money and investing. But it's like when it's in your DNA, you can't help it.
Exactly.
I love that. who are, since we're talking about hair, goodness collection, who are some of your hair icons?
I have a lot. So I don't want to leave anybody out, but I think for me, it was more so YouTube was where it started from for me. And just seeing the natural girls showing their holy grail of their hair products or, how to take care of their hair. And then seeing them prosper into owning their own businesses and having their own product brand. That just really inspired me. And I'm going to say Natural 85. Her name is Whitney White, and how she just started and how she, developed her own product line. And then Kendra, she has micro locks, and she inspired me to do micro locks. And so I love watching her videos and, seeing what she's doing to give me inspiration. So yes, I think it's a whole lot, but those two really stand out to me when I think about, who inspired me or, my icon for hair.
Yes, let me get these products in the frame because we want the people to know.
Yes.
I love that you brought up YouTube because I feel like, first of all, we are so blessed and fortunate, in this natural hair movement to have YouTube, because I know without it, I would be confused, especially in the early years of me going natural. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I was so just the thought of going natural for me. I think I went natural in 2000. The end of 2010 was my last relaxer.
Okay.
And I transitioned. And I remember like telling my friend when she was telling me I should do it, ain't no way. Like I would have that creamy crack. Like it's always
that was me.
I don't know what hair looks like up under there,
Yes, I went back and forth with that too. Relaxer, natural, going back and forth. And it's like, okay, I just have to stick with something. And I know relaxer is not good for my hair. So let me try the natural thing and, continue to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
When I look back now at my hair, I'm like, man, it was so thin. Like it just did not look healthy at all, but that's all I knew,
Right.
But thank God for YouTube and just tutorials on how to manage, because it's a lot of work. Sometimes I think going natural, like you just wake up and go, no, that's
correct. Yeah.
But learning how to do my hair, learning products that work for me is, so important, and the ones that are great. So
that's what I'm sorry. And I was gonna say too, and that's what when I was in school, and just hearing from going to different classes outside of school, it was like, don't go to YouTube. YouTube is for the amateurs that don't know what they're doing, but it's really helpful, and you can't put everybody in that category. There's going to be, different personalities, different people doing things differently. Not saying it's wrong, but for me, YouTube was, good to me. So yeah.
It was so important to me, and I'm so blessed in where I was at the time, because at the time, I'm from Maryland, but at the time I lived in Atlanta, and there was so many other women who were natural there, so it made me a little more comfortable, because I think I probably would have been a little more insecure here, where people were still relaxing their hair, and
right.
I'll come home sometimes and people would look at me like, what are you doing, girl?
Yeah.
But fortunately, I was in an environment where a lot of people were natural, and I had two close friends who did hair and that were natural as well, and kind of walked me through it. So I was very blessed and fortunate, but not everybody has that.
Correct,
so,
right.
The YouTube community kind of comes in and kind of helps you along the way, because there's so many insecurities with our hair. We're going to get conversation a little bit later, but let's hop into this conversation about Goodness Collection by Nine Fruits. Tell us the birth story of that line.
So it all started based off of my salon. I took over salon in 2018. And at that time, I was trying to figure out a name for it. And I had to have this name to go on my paperwork for the state. And so, it took so long. I'm gonna say it probably took a good month before I even had a name. And it was one of those things I had to really, pray about, because I didn't want to just name it anything. And so I had to really pray about it, meditate. And this particular night, long story short, God brought into my spirit the nine fruits. And I knew absolutely nothing about the nine fruits. So it was just strange to me that the nine fruits was brought to my spirit. And the nine fruits come from Galatians 5:22-23. It just talks about our personal, our character development, love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. And so I began to look at my Bible, like, what is the 9 fruit? So I'm looking through it and it's giving me that information. And at that moment, the Spirit told me, you're going to be making hair products. And I'm like, okay, Lord, this is kind of strange. I don't think I can make hair products because I'm not a chemist.
Yeah.
Of course, I do hair, so I know, what's good for your hair, what's not. But just to think of making a formula of products, I don't think I can do that. And so it was like, the Spirit's telling me, you're going to do it and you're going to read your word. That's how you're going to be able to make these products. And so I was like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. But, we fall off. We're not perfect. So there was times where I'm like, I can't do it today. I'm not going to look at my Bible at the product stuff, or try to figure out what he's trying to tell me. I'm just not going to worry about it. And then it came to a point to where COVID hit. And that's when he really started dealing with me, not just with the products, but with myself as well. And so once I really started getting to my word, being at home, not having anything to do, started reading hair books and ingredients that are in the Bible, herbs and plants and things like that. It started coming to me, just flowing, like, this is what you put in it. This is how you make this. There's specific scriptures that have certain herbs and plants already put together in one verse. So it's like, there's your ingredient right there, So yeah, that's how it came about. Yeah, just being obedient, just listening to what the Holy Spirit was telling me, I was able to create these products.
Wow, I was going to ask you next, why was faith so important to you in incorporating that into your product? But that answers that right there. Is like,
Yes.
that's the foundation. That's where it came from. That was how it was birthed. So, I
Yes.
feel like when God pretty much gave you the blueprint,
He did.
and it was in his word, which is amazing.
And you can't go wrong with the word. You can't go wrong with the word. Even today, like, just the way the world is today, it's written in the word, And so it just amazes me that all these herbs and plants and stuff are there for us, So like you said, it's just a blueprint that was already there for me.
And that's a whole nother word right there. Like, thing is in the word,
Yes.
And looking for, I think a lot of the time we complicate it. We look at the Bible and we're like, we don't speak in that, terminology,
Right.
that language anymore. But there's so much in it. If you like really want to receive, you can receive,
Exactly.
like, so much when we talk about like just trying to figure out life, trying to figure out the next step and what we should be doing, it's right there. I know so many times I just opened the Bible to a page and it just was what I needed was underlined right there in front of me.
Yes.
And God will give you the interpretation for when you need it.
Yes, absolutely. You can hold that in your spirit and it'll come out the time that it needs to come out. Yes.
That's the whole word. So good. And you talked about the herbs and a lot of the what you put into these products was right there in the Bible.
Yes.
How did you find it difficult? Because I know, like you said, you're not a chemist. So creating a plant-based, all natural line, like, was there challenges that you found in doing that?
Definitely. It took me 4 years to really complete this line. And to be honest, yes, there were, bumps in the road, but it was nothing. It was like, okay, I'm going to be done with this. I'm not going to worry about it. And I knew it was a God thing because it just went so smooth. Of course, like I said, there was bumps, but it went so smooth. The 4 years of me creating the products. And so it was just me writing things down and seeing what goes with what, making sure I read exactly what they do for the hair into our body, because, what you put on your hair can go internally into your body through your scalp. So I want to make sure, I'm not putting anything that's going to damage anybody's, organs or anything like that from it just getting to your scalp. So yeah, there were some challenges, but again, when God is in it, it'll run smooth. You just got to keep your mind on him and what he's telling you to do, and it'll all work out.
Yes, and it'll run smooth, and your hair will be smooth. Okay.
Yes.
These products, like, honestly, like, one of the things that's toughest for me, especially when I was first starting out, was like finding the products that fit my texture, because everyone's texture is unique. Everyone, what works for one person may not work for another.
Right.
What I found immediately in using your products is that, I could comb through my hair, which is always like what I want and what I'm looking for. And like, I was able to maintain a twist out or, things too. For me, it's like, man, when people talk about like the work that goes into natural hair, it's like every day I have to do something where
Yes.
I'm able to, if I can maintain a twist out for a few days, I'm like, win. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So tell us a little bit about your products, like tell us what you offer and what are some of the products and their purposes.
So I offer like pre-shampoo treatments. What a lot of people don't know that's really important to your hair. And I think as time goes on, people are starting to realize, but we didn't really have that back when I was growing up, a pre-shampoo treatment. And that really helps to add the moisture to your hair. It helps with any dryness or scalp irritations or any scalp problems. And so I do provide that, which is like, a staple for your hair. Regular shampoo, deep conditioning treatment, leave-in. I even have a detangling brush, for those that need yes, you got it. Yes. To detangle or even use it as a scalp massager, because a lot of people don't know if you do daily scalp massages will help to promote hair growth, and to also help with any scalp irritation or scalp dandruff, anything like that. So yeah, I just have curl refreshers. I have a whole part of the 9 fruits, a whole line of things, and I feel like they cater to every hair texture: Caucasian, Black, Hispanic. And that's one thing that I wanted it to be too, for everybody.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I love that because, that's one thing I feel like that brings us all together is everybody wants nice hair. Everybody
Yes,
wants nice hair. I feel like it's our crown, and it's the
correct.
first thing that people see, when they see us. And so we want that to be together. We want our hair to be
Right.
together. And so it's one of the things that I feel like all people, not just women, men and women, can
Yes.
relate on is wanting our hair to look nice. And so for you to be able to create a product that, meets all, cultural backgrounds and all different types of hair is a big thing, it's a big thing that unites us. And
Yes.
I know for me, like I said, I've gone through so many products out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gone through so many things. I feel like that's one of the things too that can be challenging in the natural hair journey is just finding your thing. And like when you can find something that's like not damaging to your hair, because I remember like first starting out, reading the labels and hearing, don't put this in your hair, don't put,
Yes.
but when you can like relax and know that everything you're putting in your hair is, natural
Mm-hmm.
and it's not going to harm your body. Yeah, it makes you feel comfortable. It makes you feel like, okay, now my hair can flourish.
Yes.
You talked about your parents being entrepreneurs and, your journey. What are some of the challenges that you faced as an entrepreneur?
So I'm going to say financially for one.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing would be working with others.
Yes.
So the financial part of it is just making sure that I have the finances to start the business and still be able to provide for my family and not taking up all my husband's money to make the products, which he has been a tremendous help through all of this. So there was times I'm like, okay, Lord, I don't think I'm going to be able to pay for this, right now. I'm gonna have to wait, and I don't want to prolong this, and I don't want to ask, people to donate to help me, to make these products because I know it's from Him, from God. So it's like, just Destiny, just slow down, just take one step at a time. If you have to wait, just wait. You don't have to rush it. And so that was a thing, just making sure that I put in my mind, don't rush it, just wait. If you don't have the finances right now to do that, just, it'll come. Um, the second thing, like I said, was waiting on people. And this was hard for me because I am an impatient person. So going through these 9 fruits for me every day is like, Destiny, you may have to do that within yourself, to go through these 9 fruits for yourself every day, because we're human, we're going to mess up. And for me, it's patience. So throughout this process, I've been learning patience. And so just with my labels, with the label company, I love them. They've been good to me. But it just exaggerating. They said it will take 3 months, and then it's taken 6 months to get them done. So I'm like, well, what's going on? Like, you told me it's going to take this long, and I have to wait a whole nother, 3 more months before it gets done. And so even like my little cards that I send in, that wasn't done on time, which I understand she had other stuff that was going on, with that. But me being impatient, like, I want it done now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lesson that I had to learn. Just be patient because God's got it. It's a reason why it's not coming as fast as you want it to come.
Mm,
So those are my biggest challenges.
that's so good. That's so good. 'Cause a lot of the things that people don't see, we see the glam of, oh, I'm a business owner, I'm a boss.
Yes.
But the money that goes
Yes.
with being a boss, makes you feel like
Exactly.
you're not a boss.
Right, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. Like people look at the outside or see what you have or think you have it all, but really they don't know the struggle. And they don't know if you're actually touching that money yet or not, because you're waiting to see what revenue you're getting from it in order to see if you're going to prosper with it. So yes.
Yeah. And even when you do, you're investing more into your business.
Correct. Yes.
Constantly, it's a big, big, sacrifice in being an
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur. It's not all, what it's cracked up to be.
Right.
You really have to have a heart for whatever it is that you're selling.
Yes. You're
Like,
absolutely right.
really have to be connected to it and want to, do more outside of just being a business owner,
Right.
like your products really are something that help with self-esteem, and there's something that
Mm-hmm.
help, people become confident and be confident in who they are, from the outside in. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that before anyone, it's one of the purposes of this podcast is to kind of help people see just the ins and outs of different career types and what it takes to be, in this instance, an entrepreneur, and that you really have to have a heart for what you're doing.
Definitely.
Yeah, you really,
Definitely.
um, I talked about how great these products have been to me. What are some of the testimonials you've received after using them?
So I want to say the first person was my mother, of course. She went through chemo. She had breast cancer. And so her last treatment, I said, okay, I want you to try my products and let's see how this is going to work for you. And she was all down for it. She was ready. And I hadn't shared it with everybody else yet. Just, my immediate family. And so her first use of just the pre-shampoo treatment, and then going through the line of the shampoo and the conditioner, her hair did not fall out her last treatment. And I say this would work for everybody, but for her, it was just amazing because we cut her hair off the first, before her first treatment. And she said each time she would get her treatment, she could scratch her hair and little pieces of hair would be on her fingernails. So she was just surprised because she said after she washed her hair, after 24 hours, she ended up scratching her hair and nothing came out on her nails. And I'm like, wow. And ever since then, her hair's just been flourishing. And another testimony, I have a client and she has a really bad scalp condition. And just using the products on her, I believe we used it twice. And after those two times that she came in, her psoriasis had, not saying that it was completely gone, but it was way less than what she came in with. And over time, it gets better and better. And I'm like, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord, that these products are working for people, because like you said, it deals with us internally. If our hair is not right, we don't feel good. And so just to hear those testimonies and see it, it's just amazing to me because, it wasn't me that did it. It was him. It was God that did it, and worked through me in order to build our confidence.
Yeah, I love that. Just in you sharing your story, like that's when it's a God thing, when it's not something you even have planned for yourself.
Yes.
And then you do it, and then you're getting these testimonies. It's like, okay, God, I see you. I see what you're doing in this. So you still have your salon?
I do, yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do. I'm still working. I'm just not accepting new clients. And I do have two other amazing young women that work in my salon and they're awesome. So yes, I still have my salon open. I'm just sticking with my usual clients that I have, not taking any new ones in.
Okay. Tell me about, because again, you mentioned like what goes into creating products, and that you have to have like you said, you're not a chemist, so I'm sure you have to reach out to chemists and figuring out how to create these products. What did that look like for you?
So I was going to reach out to a chemist and I ended up having this dream and it was basically telling me no, not to do that. And so I was like, okay, Lord, what you want me to do? I don't think I can do this. So I was like, no, you take your butt in that kitchen and you're going to make these products, not those exact words, but what I felt in my spirit. And so I just had to go in the kitchen and start mixing up stuff.
Wow.
And that's how it came about. So I didn't even need a chemist to tell me how to do it or what to put in it. I had to research a lot, making sure, how to thicken up certain products or, what could cause a reaction if I did mix some herbs together. So it was just a lot of researching and reading books. YouTube did help out with certain ingredients that I had to use, just how much to put in there. So yeah, I didn't even need a chemist. I had to figure it out on my own. And then of course my husband, he's really good at formulating, making sure I have enough amount because math is not my thing. So I'm like, I'm gonna need you to help me figure out this equation. Like how much I need to put in it. So but yeah, it was just me just getting my butt in the kitchen and just figuring it out on my own.
Wow. Wow. And
Yeah.
that's another thing that people don't see, the work that goes into it, like studying and researching and figuring
Yes.
out what works. Because like you said, you didn't have a clue. That wasn't something that you did, just
Yes. And I'm not a person that likes to read a lot. I mean, I read, but it's not that I want to sit and study. I've never been a studier or retain information,
yeah.
like I am now with just these products.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that goes to the conversation of, and I feel like this is a key for everyone to take is like having a relationship with God is so important.
It is
It's so
definitely.
important in everything you do. Like everything,
Yes.
you want to sometimes just include him in certain things, but everything, like
Everything.
the answers. And so like for him to be concerned about your business, for him to be concerned about how you make money and like,
Yes.
like he's anything that means something to you means something to him.
Yes.
And he can give you, like a lot of people want to be business owners, but they don't know what they want to sell. They don't know what they want to offer.
Mm-hmm.
He'll give you, if it's for you, he'll give you that. Just
Yes.
gave you this idea that was not even, in your mind to do. And look,
Definitely.
and
Yes.
gave you the tools and the resources and the help and the things that you needed for it to be successful.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so important. I love that. I want to talk a little bit about your natural hair journey because you said how long ago was it that you started the micro locks? Talk about like how you started going natural and to where you are now.
Okay. So I have always had gotten my hair done when I was younger. My mom, she wasn't the best at doing my hair. She gave me my first relaxer. I think I was maybe 4 or 5. So that's terrible to give a child a relaxer at that age.
I was sick.
Yeah, so she didn't know any better. She was like, "Well, your hair is nappy, so I'm going to put this relaxer in it."
Yeah.
And my mom's hair is totally different than mine. She has more of like a silky texture, more Indian type hair. My dad's hair is more coarse in texture. So so that's where it started at getting relaxers at that age. And as I got older, my hair was breaking off really bad. I couldn't get it to grow to a certain length. And so once I was able to take care of my own hair, I decided that I was going to try to go natural. And this is kind of when natural started coming in. So I said, okay, I'm going to just cut my hair off and start over, just go natural. So I went to a lady barber. She cut all my hair off. And I had started all over, but then it got to a point to where I didn't know, even though I was a stylist, I didn't know how to work with my own hair because I never had to, and the people that I was working with, they were getting relaxers. And so I said, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and cut my hair off and start over. And then it got to a point to where it was getting kind of hard for me to manage my own hair. And so I said, okay, let me go back to that creamy crack because I know it's going to work for me. So I did that, and I probably went back and forth for maybe, I'm gonna say it was probably 3 times I did that. And the last time what made me not do it anymore, I started feeling, that I needed to go natural because I had so many young girls in my chair that felt like they weren't enough unless their hair was straight. And I said, okay, we can't keep doing this to our people because they're gonna feel insecure growing up in this crazy world that they don't feel they're not good enough if their hair is not straight. And so that's what made me stick to just being natural. And I've had some bumps in the road, trying to figure out what worked for my hair. I ended up having this bald spot that came out of nowhere. Like, okay, what is going on with my hair? Is it internally? Because, internally messes with your hair. So that was a big deal for me. And once I created these products, I started using on my hair and my hair started flourishing. And I wasn't having the dry scalp or the my hair breaking off or my bald spot started growing back. But I get to a point to where my hair starts growing and I end up cutting it shorter, you know. So I've never been able to grow my hair long because I always end up cutting it off.
Yeah.
So this time I said I'm going to lock my hair because I want to see how it's going to look on me because I love the lock look. And then I'm going to let it grow out and see, you know, let it do its thing. But yes, I had a lot going on with my hair journey.
Yeah. First of all, I love it. I love the color,
Thank you.
the size, everything.
Thank you.
That's something that I've contemplated doing just because, like trying to come up with new styles. I just
Mm-hmm.
tired.
Yes, I understand.
If I could just commit to locks and not have to think about what I'm gonna do next. And I know
Yes,
how we get bored and sometimes we want to switch it up. You can pop some color in there. You can do something
yes.
different. So I think that yeah, same thing. Like with my journey, I feel like I was just doing what I was used to doing. My mom wasn't big into doing my hair either. She would just
Mm-hmm.
relaxer in it. And when I started doing it myself, probably in high school, I would throw a relaxer. I had the same thing I would do every time. Throw a relaxer
Uh-huh.
and then wrap it,
Yeah, yeah.
or curl it. And honestly, from doing that so much, I feel like even now, like my edges are not what they could be and they're
Mm-hmm.
still kind of like sensitive.
And people don't realize when you do relaxers, it messes with your hair follicles. And
Yeah.
over time, you can start getting alopecia, you know, your follicles start minimizing. And a lot of people don't know that. And is terrible for your scalp. Not saying this is wrong for you to do, but it's terrible for your scalp, you know. So I think a lot of people don't realize the after effect you'll have in the long run, you know, if you continue to get relaxers.
I love that people are becoming more aware, just like we're being more aware of what we're putting in our bodies.
Yes,
Reading labels, we got to read the labels of what we put on our skin and on our
absolutely.
hair because it can affect our overall health. A lot of
Yes,
people kind of neglect that, and we went so long in ignorance, but now we can't be ignorant anymore.
right.
There's so much information out there, and so much for us to learn and realize. And I love my hair now. There's times where I'm like, man, I wish it was more manageable, or I wish
Mm-hmm.
so forth. But like, I feel like when you embrace who you really are, embrace the hair that grows out of your scalp, the way it grows out of
Yes,
your scalp, there's just so much pride there. That's what makes us who we are, and that's what makes us unique. No two
absolutely.
textures are the same, but it's something. It's like a learning process, and it's
It
like,
is.
yeah, I love that.
Definitely.
There's so many hair products out there right now. Was that discouraging or like scary for you to jump into this market? And how do you feel like you differentiate yourself from the others?
Yes, it was definitely discouraging because I'm like, these products are not going to sell. There's so many billions of great products out on the market. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, what is so different about mine, you know, that will stand out?
Mm-hmm.
But for me, like I said, you can never go wrong with the word. And if the word told me to put these types of ingredients in these bottles, it's going to work out. I think too, mine is different because um, I use ingredients, you know, specifically from the Bible. And I know there are other products that may use, you know, myrrh or frankincense, you know, things like that. But did they take it from the Bible in a way that they knew intentionally what they were doing? I intentionally knew what I was doing when I made these products. And then just the scriptures that I put on the bottles, I've never seen that. There may be somebody out there that has scriptures on their bottles, but I wanted a daily reminder um, of, you know, everyday situations. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. You know, you wake up and put a little oil on your hair, or, you know, you may want to put you may want to put the oil on your skin, you know, a little bit. And you look at the bottom, read it like, I'm going to have a great day today, you know, because the Lord told me to. It's going to be wonderful. So you just have those affirmations that you can apply to your everyday life. So
Yeah.
I think that's what stands out with Goodness Collection.
Yeah. I love that. First of all, you can't go wrong with when you're stepping out on faith. It's a lot different than just an idea that you had. When it's a Holy Spirit idea, it's a lot different, and you can walk out with confidence and faith that it's going to be successful. But like you said, like we've talked about how much confidence we get from our hair, and just like for me, like I feel better when my hair feels fresh, and like
Yes.
it doesn't even like this morning I had it twisted up, like just for it to be moisturized, and even in the
Yes.
twist, it just felt good. And so to like affirm yourself in a daily way by like putting the products on your hair, putting the oil, keeping your hair moisturized,
Yes.
affirming yourself and what the word says about you is just a good way to live life. I feel like this self-care movement and this like self-love movement, while it can be redundant, is so important because for the longest we just kind of did things out of habit and routine, and now
Right.
learning to like look at ourselves in the mirror and say, I am, I am what God created. I
Yes.
am beautiful in the way God created me. And yeah, there's confidence that you can find in that, and that will spew into other parts of your life,
Yes.
and hopefully be contagious.
Yes, definitely.
What would you say? We talked about the financial strain that it can, being an entrepreneur can have on you. What would you say to an aspiring entrepreneur who's like, I don't have the resources to start? God gave me this great idea, but, like, how can I get started with the minimal resources that I have? What would you say to that person?
I would say you have to continue to put one foot in front of the other. You may not see a way, but there is a way.
Yeah.
And you just got to start off little. So if it's even, I mean, just to research, you may have to research, how can I get a grant, or let me just go ahead and start with whatever I'm creating, to say, I don't know, a ball, like you want to create a ball, like what is it that I need to create this ball? So let me make my list of everything I need. And then, if you're not even a spiritual person, you're not a Jesus follower, you still want to take that time in order to write all your steps down on what you need, before you start purchasing things. Don't be afraid to ask for help. That's another thing. You can't step out on faith and be scared to ask for help. Even if it's not financial, if you just need help on, okay, where do I start? Or, do you know a person that can help me get the material I need, just to point me that direction so I can go ahead and figure out my cost of everything. It's just, you got to take those little baby steps. So just one foot in front of the other.
That's so good. I love the aspect of help, because that's an area that I struggle in, and I know a lot of people do, in asking for help and feeling like I'm going to be a burden, or just not wanting to, pride, honestly,
Right.
and learning to kind of like dive into that and realize that there are so many people who are willing and open to help. I know
Yes.
people ask me, I'm like thrilled to help people.
Yes. And even just you, like you've been a blessing to me, even for you to even want to try my products to see how they work, because a lot of people are like, I'm not going to mess up my hair. I don't know what's in these products. Or, I've reached out to other people to see if they were mine, to try them out. And I never got a response, or it was a simple no, which was okay, because people like you are willing to try them. And that's really blessed my soul and helped me feel like, okay, if she wanted to try it, I know there's other people that would like to try it.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Excited to, and the results made me really excited. So it's just taking that leap of faith and like, and building connections and learning. I feel like that's one of the main things in entrepreneurship that I know I struggle with, is like learning to build those connections. Networking is so important,
Yes.
because you can't do it all alone, and I'm that person that wants to try.
Mhm. Yes.
But learning to like, delegate, or just learning to kind of have people help,
Yes.
is so important. And, like you said, step by step. I recently listened to on Audible Will Smith's book. I think it's just called Will.
Okay.
But he talks about his father, who was very stern. And as a child, he had him and his brother build a brick wall. And it took them all summer to build this brick wall in his shop. He had a shop where he sold ice. And that was one of the main takeaways, was brick by brick. Stop thinking about how long it's taking you, and just
Yes.
lay each brick. And
Yes.
like that is a key to life and everything. Step by step. Very seldomly does God give you the full, scope of
Yes.
how things are going to turn out. He just tells you to do it. He tells you you're going to create these products,
Right.
and that's it.
Yes.
But you start thinking about it, you start researching, and then you write this down, and then he gives you the next step, and then he gives you the next step. But you have to be willing to like jump out there, afraid,
Yes.
sure, uncertain, but full of faith, and knowing who God is, and knowing that he's got you, and if he gave you the idea, he's not going to leave you stranded.
Definitely.
Yeah, so that's the
Yes. I love it.
for everything in life. What do you see in the future for Goodness Collection? I know that there's so much more that you have in you and that God is showing you step by step. He may not have shown you everything, but what are some of the things that you see in the future for Goodness Collection?
I see Guinness Collection all over the world, changing people's lives, changing their hair, the way they view themselves. Because my products are here to build confidence. Because, like you said, if our hair is not right, we don't feel right. And
Mhm.
so I just see so many lives being changed spiritually, physically, with their hair. And I just want to spread the word. So I want these products to be everywhere just to put a little gem out there, to spread the word and to help that confidence with people's hair, give them long, luxurious hair,
Yeah.
give them confidence.
Yeah, I love that because back to that thing, our conversation about hair, and I feel like specifically, like there's been numerous films on Black hair and like
Mm-hmm.
kind of the stigma behind it, and like how there had to be a whole law for, not to discriminate against our hair in the workplace. And I think that, there's been moments for me where I've really lacked confidence because I didn't like the way my hair looked. There was someone
Mm-hmm.
comment about how wild my hair was, or. And I think that it's so important for us to like stand behind each other and support each other and show each other that you are beautiful.
Yes.
How can you be more confident? Maybe there are products that you can use where you don't feel so insecure, you know? Well, I feel like it's such an important conversation because there is so much behind our hair. I've
Yes.
Black women who feel like man, or I've heard other people who aren't Black women say like, man, what did God have against y'all? Like I've had that
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
before. I'm like, man, like what is it about our hair that's just I get it's just so unique and it's so different that people
Yes.
it's like it's not it's not what someone would desire or would want for themselves. Speak on that and just how like we as Black women can be confident in what God has given us.
Like you said, it's our hair is unique. We can do so much with our hair. And then I think a lot of people get discouraged because you hear someone say, why does your hair look like that? Or why you want to wear it in a fro? Why can't you straighten your hair? It looks so much better, look longer and full if you wear it straight.
Mhm.
And I just think society has made Black women or even men feel self-conscious about their hair. And that's one thing that you have to know, like your hair is beautiful. Everybody's wonderfully and fearfully made. We're all unique in our own way. And just to be sure that you are confident within yourself to know that your hair does not define you. It may make you feel different, because we want it to look good, but it doesn't make you, any less than what the next person is about your hair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And there's no right or wrong way to wear your hair.
Right.
If you want to rock the fro, if you want to rock a weave, if you want
Yes.
to rock locks,
Everybody's not gonna like you. Everybody, you could be the sweetest, most genuine person in the world. There's somebody's gonna find something about you. So if you want to wear your hair in a fro, if you want to wear your hair in ponytails or braids, do what you do because that's nobody can stop your blessings or because of your hair.
Yeah.
Or don't make them feel like you can't succeed in life because your hair is different than what their hair is or the next person's hair is.
Yeah, I think we live in a society now where we're so wrapped up in people's opinions, comments
Mm-hmm.
on social media. We post a picture, we want to see how people respond to it.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm trying to learn for myself and what I want for the next generation and previous generations to learn is that you liked your hair when you put it together and you stepped out the house. Continue to like it regardless of how people
Yes.
do it. And same thing with, your everything, how you're dressed and how you carry yourself. Your
Right.
that's another thing that we can get picked on for.
Yes. And I want to say that too, when you said about faith, people picking on you, that's one thing that kind of discouraged me too. I didn't mention that was being a faith-based product or Christian-based product because people are going to like, well, I'm not Christian or I don't believe. And so I'm not going to try these products, or, what is it? Why would she put a biblical thing on it? Is it because she wants to get more attention? So that was just the enemy all in my head telling me stuff about these products, to make me feel like it wasn't going to work out.
Yeah, yeah. We have to be bold. Like the
Mm-hmm.
Bible says, be bold, be courageous. And, when we are bold for him, he was bolded for us,
Yes.
us. how can we not return that and be bold? We have to like share something. When you have something so good, you don't want to keep it to yourself.
Right.
So if you can share it in a way that's like uplifting, encouraging, like these are uplifting like affirmations, the word is full of affirmations.
Yes.
That are going to encourage people to do exactly what your products are made to do. Be confident,
Yes.
So I love it. I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
Like I said, it's been a blessing to me and my hair, and I know it will be to countless others. I see it across the globe. I'm excited for it. Tell us where we can find you, where we can order your products, all of that good stuff.
Okay, so I'm on social media, on Instagram and Facebook. It is Goodness Collection by 9 Fruits for both Facebook and Instagram. My website is goodnesscollection9.com. I also have an email if you want to email me at support@goodnesscollection9.com.
Awesome. So make sure you guys go. I'm telling you, you want it in your life.
Yes.
If you've been like trying to figure out what works for your hair, or if you just want to know that what you're putting in your hair is safe and good for it and healthy, then this is the route for you to go. Destiny, thank you so much for just sharing your story with us today and being vulnerable and real and sharing this products with us, because it's going, like I said, it's going to bless so many countless people. So
yes, thank you. I'm so happy that you love them. That makes me happy, uplifts my spirit. And I'm so thankful that you invited me to the show. This was awesome. I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you. And thank you everyone for watching or listening. This is the Name a Better Duo podcast. Make sure you are tuning in with us wherever you get your podcasts or watch us on YouTube. Until next time, love you guys. Have an amazing rest of your week.